How do I draw this freehand directly in pen and keep the proportions the same? When we talk about proportions, we mean the relationship between the height and the width. And we could be talking about one part, such as this column, or the entire structure from, say, here to here in proportion to here to here. But basically, if we draw this in proportion, the shapes will all look the same. The columns in our drawing won't be fatter or taller and narrower than they are in our reference. There'll be room to fit all the detail between various elements, such as this column and these columns, between these columns, so that these columns, when we put them in, look the same shape as they are here. Now the scale can be different, and by scale I mean the size of our drawing versus the size of our reference. I could draw my drawing twice the size of this or half the size of this, and the scale is therefore changed, but the proportions are the same. When we're practicing drawing in proportions as a beginner, the easiest way to do it is to try and draw on the same scale, to make our drawing the same size, because that's the easiest way to tell if our shapes are the same shape as they are here. Now, we're drawing these shapes, but of course we should bear in mind they're actually three-dimensional forms. It's best to start with a part of the drawing that's going to be the easiest to draw in proportion, because the first thing we draw will in many ways become like a measuring stick, like a ruler for the rest of what we draw. So I'm going to start with this column because it's the most straight on of all of them. Now I've sped up the drawing sections because I don't really want you to try and draw along, and it's really connecting what I'm saying with what I'm doing. You're better off watching carefully and understanding and then having a go. So now I have to position this next column. It's important to realize that this line slopes down, it doesn't slope straight across. And I also need to fit this detail in. I find it's helpful to try and plot the detail to help me get across this. I'll show you what I mean. So the base is going to be, so this line is, I'm looking at this line, and I've got this gap here, which is about the same as there. So it's a bit less than half, certainly less than half. And then I come across something that's not as wide. So let's make it there, say. And then there's a bit of a gap, and then there's this line. So if I've got that right, should be looking like this. If you'd like to see the drawing part slower though, use the icon that YouTube provides to slow down any video up to half speed. Important to observe things like the overhang. This corner lines up just over the shaft there. Let's now see if we can fit this column in. We have this interior support there. That gives me that line. So my column's going to be there. I'm going to put this one in first. I'm using a Copic 0.3mm multi-liner for this. Now, if you were drawing in pencil, then you have other options because you can basically keep erasing. So now that's done. I'm looking at this gap now, that down here is only about there. I hope you can notice how careful observation is the foundation of drawing in proportion. We have this gap here, that this one is narrower. This column and this column are closer together. And please hit the like button for me if you're finding this interesting. It can also be helpful to work out what we're looking at. Here now we have to fit 3 columns in. Come back down here and think we've got 1 column there, 1 column here. So there's very little gap. So where is that? That line's going to be there. Very little gap for 1 column. A bit more of a gap for the next one, a bit more of a gap for the next one. So this column is going to go about here. Just slightly less wide than this, which is slightly less wide than this because they're slightly moving away from us, which means they're slightly getting smaller. Notice this one overhangs more. Now this column is down a bit from that one, and it's up a bit from this one. When we're filling details into spaces we've created, that's the real test for whether we've got the proportions of the overall space correct. If I can't put the detail in the space at the same proportions as in my reference, it's because the space isn't right. So we have this line here for this column. So I'm just going to pop that in there because I need it here, but I want to do this detail first. So here, this comes over the overhangs there. And I'm looking at this as a long, thin box, and I want to make a long, thin box that's about the same. I want to keep the, if you like, the ratio of the height to the width. And now we have another band where there's decoration. And it goes to here because this is overhang. So it's about the same. And now I look at this height from here to here that protrudes past the corner. And then again, I have another long, thin strip, and I just work at keeping the proportions the same. But for this one, there is a change in the architecture. At this stage, we can actually check how we're going. We've done enough, and if, as is the case, I'm trying to draw the actual size, I can measure to get a sense of, am I reading the proportions and the distances correctly? So from this column, which will be about here, to here, in my reference is that. So I want it to be as close to that as possible. And that's close enough in my book. So let's have a look at the height of the column, shall we? Which is pretty much the same distance as it turns out. And I haven't, let's get that right. So I haven't come down quite far enough. But at this stage, I can actually probably, if I want to, make an adjustment. I was thinking that it looked a bit too squat. If I come up to this one, we can see in fact that it's actually shorter anyway. Yep. So that one's fine because this line does angle up slightly because eye level is going to be somewhere around here. And that looks better. Well, by better, I mean it looks more accurate to what we're looking at. So now I need to drop these columns down a bit. I'm now doing the hatching, and I've sped this up a bit more because this isn't really a video about hatching. So I did want to keep the overall length a bit shorter. But you can use that YouTube facility to slow down any video to half the posted speed or something between half speed and posted speed if you want. But it's important, I think, to add these dark values because we can't really judge the proportions of our finished drawing if it looks too different from our reference. We'll have a better idea of whether it looks right when we make it look a bit more like the reference. If there weren't such dark values, it wouldn't matter so much. But in this case, I think it does. It also lets us make some slight adjustments in things such as the width of our columns. If we want, we can always make them a little bit narrower via the hatching, via the shadows and the shade that we apply to them. And again, if you haven't hit the like button yet and you've got to this stage, then please hit that for me. If you haven't checked out my channel playlist, then why not have a look? I have a lot of videos over 1,200 at this point, but my playlists help you work out what's what where and perhaps find the ones that you're most interested in, that most suit the level you're at and the sorts of subjects you like to draw and the way you like to draw them. So just finishing now, these values. Notice though how I do change direction of my hatching lines in different parts to help make clearer what we're looking at and also to give a feel for the three-dimensional form that the darkness, that the value is on. These are some of the characteristics of hatching. I do have a hatching playlist if this is an area you'd like to do more study on. Now we'll add this architectural decoration. When we have detail to add to the basic drawing, such as this decoration, it is a good test of if we have our proportions correct, because I need to be able to draw the detail in the right proportions and also have the spaces between the details in the right proportion. So if it fits, that's a big tick for the overall framework of my drawing subject, and if it doesn't, then I know I've got something not quite right, and it's good to identify what that is. I've simplified the foreground detail for the sake, again, of a shorter video and to keep the point of this one. But it's always good to take opportunity when we're learning to draw and we're doing practice drawings such as this to at least explore some of the possibilities of being able to capture the foreground details, or any details for that matter, that are sort of at the periphery of our drawing, because in the end, when we are trying to do more substantial artworks, these details will be important. So we want to learn to capture the ones that are most common for us. G'day, I'm Stephen Travers. I hope this has been helpful, particularly for beginners. I'll post this photo on my channel community page if you want to have a go. But whatever you draw, however you draw it, and however the proportions turn out, make sure you have fun. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.